All right, so my name is Baneet. It's been about 2 years since I've been in business, so I'm going to be sharing some lessons that I've learned. Hardships, funships, just everything. I started business when I was 17 years old. It was about November, December of 2023. And now I'm about to turn 19 actually in 5 days, and it's October now of 2025. And I think there's a lot of lessons that I can share throughout. There's been a lot of things that I've learned, many, and I'm not the best in business, I would say. I'm very new, I'm very young, I've just started. But I think there's definitely lessons that I can teach that to someone who is a beginner, maybe who just started, or maybe they're just in the phases of scaling. They found something that works and they need to know how to get it bigger. There's a lot of tiny things I can learn, even though there's a lot of smarter people out there than me in business who've been doing it for longer, who know what to do. I feel like I'm more closer connected to the beginners because I'm still here. I don't feel like an advanced person. I don't place myself above or below anyone. I just have a bit of experience. I'm going to be sharing it today. So yeah, pretty much I started in 2023 at 17. And actually the reason I started is kind of funny. I early graduated from high school in about December. So December of 2023, I early graduated. This is more like January, but I wanted, it was like, you know what, finally I can get out of school. I was so happy. Me and my friend signed up for it together. So my friend went on, he does e-commerce, and he kind of worked during that time period. Like he worked at the job, and he went and got real life experience. I was like, I want to jump straight into business. But I was poor, I didn't really have anything to do for it. And so, I went into it and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna build this thing. I just want to try to make money. My goal back then was I want to make 10,000 a month. I really just wanted to make, I really wanted to make 10,000 a month. And I was like, I'm going to do anything to get to this point. And yeah, I mean, the first lesson that I kind of learned at that time was that it's going to take longer and be harder than you expect. The thing with, when you see online all these big numbers being thrown around, 10,000 a month, it's a reasonably good number, that will get you a very good life in nearly every country around the world, except for big cities. It will get you a very, very good life, nice and comfortable. And people talk about, oh, you shouldn't aim for comfort, you shouldn't strive for comfort. Maybe. I would say you should strive for it, but when you get there, you'll probably not want to be there. That's a separate conversation. I'll talk about that in a bit, but yeah, the first thing is if you set a goal, especially in business or nearly anywhere actually, expect it to take longer and be harder than you expect. We usually, because we're young, and I'm going to assume that you're young, under 30 as well, it's going to take a lot of effort. It's not something that you could get up one day and you'll be like, yeah, I'm going to start working really hard. Our timelines are very short. And so for me, I was like, when I set that goal in December, January, I'm like, yeah, I can do this in 3 to 4 months. I did not do it in 3 or 4 months. I made my first 10K month about 9 to 10 months in. And even then, that took a lot of work. That took a lot of working every single day. And so it's not something that is easily said or easily done. It takes time. It takes effort. It's not an easy thing. And that's very important for people to know because I don't want to give off this impression of like, oh, I did it so quickly. Like, no, I would say even 10 months is a fast period of time. It's not like, I just, one day I got up and I was like, yeah, I'm going to start working hard. No, I will tell you, the first 2 or 3 months, I was so lazy. I was absurdly lazy. Like, I just didn't want to do anything, but I just stuck to it. Like, I had to push through at some point. So I just did tiny things every day, and that got me to a point where I was more consistent. And I think that, if you have a goal, sure, make your goal short. You can move with speed, but if you don't hit it, do not let that discourage you from continuing, right? When 3 or 4 months passed for me, I was really depressed. Like, I was like, oh my God, I failed. I didn't hit my goal. But that wasn't true, right? It was just, I just needed to work a little longer, right? Up to that point, I will say 3 to 4 months in, I don't think I made that much. I think I made a total of like 500 4 months in, which is, I was very happy about it. I'm like, dude, I'm making money online. I didn't get up. I haven't worked a job ever in my life. I'm making money online. Like, that is so cool. Not many people are able to say that. You know, that's I'm coming from a very privileged position here, but yeah, it's very cool to be able to do this. And that's the second thing, like, do not take this online thing for granted. You know, you see a lot of people doing it. Not many people succeed. It's a hard thing. It's not easy. You're competing against some of the hardest working people in the world who are on their computers all day. It's not an easy thing to do. And in life in general, I've learned that, again, anything good does not come easy. And because of that, you cannot expect to go and set yourself a goal that is top 10%, top 5%, top 1% of people have achieved, and expect it to be a simple path. Let me reverse that actually. You can expect it to be a simple path, but you cannot expect it to be an easy path. And that's kind of my second thing, which is business is extremely simple, but is extremely difficult. Those are two separate things, right? So there's two concepts. There's simplicity and complexity, and then there's easy and hard. Those two are separate things. Complex things are like theoretical physics, quantum mechanics, right? Mathematics at the higher levels, chemistry at the higher levels. You know, these kind of STEM things or just cutting edge technologies are usually more complex, right? Business is not very it's not very complex. It's actually quite simple. You know, if I tried to break it down to you, it's you need to get someone, sell them something, and then make a profit off of it. Like, it's pretty simple. Well, I'll make it even simpler. You need to have a product that people will buy, and that's it. Like, you don't, it's not very hard. We try to add all these complexities to it, but really you just need to be able to sell it to someone and get someone who will buy it. That's it. It's all humans. So in that case, it is simple. The complex parts come in when we try to figure out, how do we market? How do we sell? What are the selling techniques? What are the marketing techniques? How do I advertise? All this kind of stuff, right? Tinier things. And so do not over complexify it. You know, it's a very simple concept. It's not very difficult to grow in business, I would say. I keep messing up the words myself. It's not very complex to grow in business, but it is quite difficult in that it takes a lot of work, right? It takes work to learn how to make things simple, right? I'm not sure who said this, but they said it is the mark of a fool to make everything more complex than it actually is. Richard Feynman, he's one of the most noted theoretical physicists in the world. He wrote a book called 6 Easy Pieces. He broke down physics into literally 6 easy pieces. And he goes all the way from simple addition, mathematics, atoms, all the way up to quantum physics. Very theoretical stuff for him at that time. It was like mid-1900s when he wrote the book, I believe. That's a very interesting concept, you know, making things simple. It's very important. And so that's kind of the second thing. It's simple but difficult. So expect it to be hard, right? Thirdly, you should not pivot faster than you can expect to get results. There were many points where I wanted to pivot to something better. And my qualification for pivoting is, have I tried doing more? Have I tried making it better? Or have I tried something new? New is the last thing I want to do. More and better is what I always do. So I'll give you an example, right? If I'm stuck at 10,000 a month and I'm like, I want to make more money, I will not sit there and be like, okay, well, I want to go, I'm going to go try a new business to make more money. No, I'll be like, can I do more of what I'm doing right now? Can I get more sales calls? Can I make more videos? Can I make more ads? Can I spend more on the ads, right? Once I do that, usually that works. That's one more thing for you guys. Usually more works. You just need to do more. It's just about do more. If you set a higher goal, do more. If more does not work, then you just need to make it better, right? How can you make it better? How can you make what you're doing incrementally better? For example, ads, can you switch up the hook? Can you make it a stronger hook, right? For sales calls, can you try introducing yourself a different way? Could you maybe switch up the product a bit, make it better, offer more things, right? Offer a better guarantee, all these kind of things, right? So more and better. Those two will solve 90% of your problems. Do more of something or do it better. That's it. And then new should be the absolute last option. If you already 10x your volume, I would say, and you've been trying new things, let's say 10 to 20 new things, and these are just arbitrary numbers, I'm making this up, then you'll be like, okay, I want to go do something new. I'm going to go try something new. But before that, these two should solve nearly all of your problems. I've nearly never need to do the new, just so you know. And I'm at a pretty good place in the business. At this point, I'm just choosing not to do more. I'm trying to enjoy life a little bit because I feel like I was putting it on the back burner. But yeah, that's more and better will solve the majority of your problems. New will not, until you're at a point where it will. So usually just do more and better. That should get you to a pretty good level. Another thing that I think I learned was that you do not need as much money as you think you do. So for me, I survive on probably around 2,000 a month, maybe 1,800 a month. And yearly put out, that's about, 24,000, 2,100, 21,000 to 24,000 a year, which is not a lot. That, like, all I really do most of the time is I pay for rent, I pay for food, insurance for a bike. I do some splurgy purchases now and then. Like, here's an example, like these headphones, best purchase I've made of my entire life so far. These headphones are amazing. There's a bunch of other tiny things, like there's not much, but like I don't live on much. I don't really need much. I like to eat out. That's my only purchase that I splurge on. But really, to survive, I need 21,000 to 24,000 a year. And that's pushing it. Like, that's surviving good. If I really wanted to live poor, I can probably live on 15,000 a year. I don't need much. So you need to use that to your advantage. You don't have kids, you don't have a wife, you don't have people you need to cover for. Take all your money and put it somewhere useful. I don't like seeing these guys buying cars and all that. Like, I went and I got a motorcycle, right? Motorcycle, it was a used motorcycle, 2023 used. I got it for 3.1K. And, that for me, it took, I could have, when I went and bought it in cash. The only thing you have to pay for is the insurance, which is not that much. Registration fees, all that done, right? The gas is maybe $20 a month. It doesn't matter. So I'm trying to have fun, but at the same time, I'm not splurging on like crazy cars. I can tell you right now, if I wanted to, I could go get a really, really nice car, like Porsche level or something like that, within the next month. And I can go do that. Would I? Absolutely not. It's stupid. I'm trying to keep most of my money in investments. I'm putting it into other businesses. Do not think that just because other people are spending it on these crazy purchases that you need to do the same as well. I don't find an appeal in the crazy cars. Now, I'm not going to hold myself to that. There might be a day where I want to get these really cool cars. But right now, it's just, I don't see the point. I want to save up. I want to get to an investment portfolio of between like $3 to $5 million, maybe more. Maybe if I can get to even 10 million, that'd be amazing. But until then, which is probably going to take me 5 to 10 years, I don't see the point in getting these crazy cars. Literally, the motorcycle was my most splurgiest purchase. Let me show you, actually. So this is my helmet. You're going to see. This is the helmet that I got. You can see yourself there. You see yourself on the camera. This is the helmet. Like, I got little bunny ears and all that. Like, this is the whole helmet that I wear when I ride. Really fun. Maybe I'll show the motorcycle one day. I'm not sure. Too lazy to bring the camera down. But, yeah, like, you don't need to get all that stuff. You don't need to get the crazy clothes. You don't need to get the chrome hearts. You don't need to get the Gucci high quality stuff. Let me rephrase that. Get high quality stuff. Do not get expensive stuff just because it's high quality. Like I said, these headphones, expensive. I think these are $350 or $450, something like that, right? Like, for example, I have shoes out there that cost like $500, and it's not even branded. Like, it's a no-name brand. Nobody knows what it is. It's not like a Nike or Adidas. Nobody knows this brand. The only reason I bought it is because they're barefoot shoes, and then the expensive part was the custom soles that I got, right? Like, probably those shoes are actually probably the most expensive thing I have other than this motorcycle. Like, genuinely. That and maybe a drone. I have a drone that I bought for fun. But like, you don't need all this. You don't need all this stuff. If you have a desire to get it, go for it. But do not feel the need to buy it, right? Especially until you are set up personally in your own life. And so even me, I say I want a retirement portfolio of $5 to $10 million. Do I need it? Absolutely not. But I want that amount. The reason being, the life that I want to live requires that much. You know, I want to be able to have multiple homes in different cities or even different countries. I want to be able to not think about food, purchases, all that kind of stuff. If I have kids in the future, I do not want to worry about their education, taking them on trips, getting them the hobbies they want to do. For me, I want to be able to do any hobby without thinking about the cost associated. And for me, that's going to take a significant amount of money invested to be able to think about it, you know? So yeah, it's very important to be clear about what you want your business to do. And then don't try to lose that which you want with your business, right? That's another point. Recently, I've kind of slowed down business-wise, not in the sense of like I'm not working hard. I'm still working quite a bit, but I've tried to make my work more meaningful in that I want it to serve a purpose. You know, I don't want to just work purely for money. I want what I do to serve a purpose. Like, why am I working on this? Is it going to teach me something or is it going to make me more, right? So I've been putting teach me something at a higher value than money. And again, I'm speaking this from a place of privilege. You do not need to follow this. You know, you can do things. If you want to do it for money, absolutely do it. I did it for money at some point. I still do. I'm not going to lie to you. I still do things for money. I told you I have that goal of an investment portfolio. I still do things for money, but I've been trying to slow it down a bit because I realize I don't need that much to survive. And so once I hit that money goal, even I'm still going to work for money. Not because I see it as like, oh, I need more, I'm going to go buy a yacht. I might buy a yacht, I don't know. But like, I just want to be able to do stuff that without thinking about it, price-wise. So yeah, those are kind of a few lessons that I think I've picked up over the last 2 years. There's a lot more. I just don't want to spend too much time talking here. Honestly, I get tired of talking after a bit. It's funny to say because I used to do sales calls for like literally 6 hours and I'll lose my voice. Yeah, now I make more sales calls plans. I would say if I took a sales call, I could probably sell, but I'm still a bit rusty. But yeah, I just took a break from all that. Hired it out, got employees to do it. So yeah, that's kind of how it's been so far. Not much else for me to share. Yeah. Maybe I'll show the motorcycle one day if I have time. But that's really the lessons that I have to distill to you. Maybe if more comes up in the future, I'll share. But my birthday is coming up. I usually like to make videos every birthday that I have. So I'm going to be doing that in 5 days on a separate channel. I got to rename these channels. They're all the same. If you search up my name, you'll find it. But yeah, well, that's kind of my lessons. I'm glad to be sharing them after a very long time. And yeah, I'll see you guys very, very soon. Have an amazing day.